Hey everybody, John Van Dyke here for New Jersey Exposed. Today is Saturday, December 31st, 2022, last day of the year, and this will be the last video of the year. And so I forgot the time. It's 2:45 p.m. Jersey time, and let me tell you, it's in the low 50s today, but it is rainy, foggy, overcast. Yesterday was beautiful. We just had temperatures in the low 60s. I could take that all winter long, but we know how that's going to go. So anyway, we're going to recap our heroes for the year of 2022. I took upon myself this morning to look at some of the videos I did in the past year for 2022, and I just picked out a whole bunch. There's so many of them. It's like, where do you start, you know? But I just thought I made a list of some of the great heroes this year and all the great things that they've been up to as they were out there risking our lives, protecting and serving the government. And it's been quite a year. It's been filled with child pornography downloaders. I want to say that's probably the most outstanding crime this year that our heroes have been caught doing, downloading child porn, followed by raping and sexual violence against women. And third in line would be the violence that they perpetrate on citizens when they're interacting with us. So anyway, it's a little bit of a list here. So if you got a short attention span, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe this one you might want to hang out for this one. So anyway, here's the sheets right here. This is the stuff I wrote down. I did it this morning. There it is. Okay, well, let's see. We'll start out. We had a Middletown Township detective that's right here in my area. It's the next town over from where I live at the moment. He cost the citizens, taxpayers of Middletown Township $613,000 in a lawsuit settlement for his excessive force on some citizens. That was very nice, but I know his Middletown Township Police never talked about that on their Facebook page, so I made it a point to post the story up. We had the Tucson cop. This guy was really disgusting. He's the one that shot the man in the wheelchair in the back 9 times. He did it 8, and then he waited a second and put one more in just for good measures. Have Kim Potter. You remember Kim Potter? She's the one that thought she was grabbing her taser. Instead, she took the gun and killed a man. Then we have the female cop. Oh, this was a good cop here. Female cop, she, I guess that was her sergeant, was getting a little rough with somebody, and she pulled him by the back of the belt and pulled him away, and he turned around and grabbed her by the neck, choking her. We have a former NYPD cop that hacked his 78-year-old mother to death. Patterson cop indicted for beating a 19-year-old man. Minneapolis cop executes a 22-year-old, gets a paid vacation while they figure out how to rewrite the narrative. We have a Hazeltown cop sets off a bomb to kill his ex's new boyfriend. We got a former D.C. lieutenant, sex acts with a 16-year-old boy. We have 2 Sioux Falls cops. These are 2 separate arrests for child porn. I got a feeling those 2 were butt buddies, if you know what I mean. Richmond cop kills fiance's dog with a shotgun. I remember that story there. This nice little dog. It didn't hurt anybody. Apparently he was jealous of the dog, and he took a shotgun and blew the dog's brains out in I think the kitchen or something. I mean, at least you got to shoot the dog, take it out somewhere. So, yeah, killed the poor dog. Dog didn't do anything to him. Let's see, Long Branch PD, Chris Walls. Oh yeah, the mad scientist. He was the meth guy. He got 10 years in prison for having a meth lab in his house. Then we got the Pennsylvania trooper, child porn with girls. He downloaded child porn. He liked girls from the ages of 3 to 12. That was his little big thing. Prepubescent, 3 to 10 years old. He liked prepubescent girls. Camden County Police leave a man quadriplegic. Oh, that was nice. Lawrence, Kansas, finest award-winning rapist. We got an Eatonton, Georgia PD's wife killed. So he killed his wife. We got Atlanta cops shoot man 59 times. Loveland cops. Okay, this story here. Remember Loveland police? They stopped that. There was a 70-year-old woman that had dementia, and she was alleged to have taken $13 worth of stuff from Walmart without paying for it. And rather than just taking the stuff away from her and letting her leave, they called the police. Police caught up to her later on down the road a little bit. And as we all know, there's no bad situation these heroes can't make worse. So what did that hero do? Because this poor woman does... I mean, I don't know how many people out there got experience with dementia. I do. And they don't remember things from, depending on how bad it gets, they don't remember from second to second what's going on. So anyway, that trooper, he had an issue with her, so he picked her up and slammed her on the ground, and he threw her arm up so far behind her and dislocated her shoulder. I think she had got a sprained wrist or a broken wrist out of that deal. Then he got found guilty on that, him and his partner, the female friend, because, you know, they were back at headquarters laughing about that. Remember that video, people? Disgusting. Well, he's in the pokey now. I'm sure the taxpayers of Loveland, Colorado, are going to be paying out for that one. We have 2 Jackson Parish deputies arrested for manslaughter. Newport News cop leaves his gun out, and his 2-year-old son gets the gun, and the 2-year-old killed himself. We have an Omaha cop, kitty porn. There's lots of kitty porn stores. So I started to put them down. I said, wait, there's too many. Just assume that I got a lot of them. I didn't count how many it was. We have a new ULM, that's ULM cop, coaches an 11-year-old girl with a stomach ache. I think the deal with that is he coached her on how to masturbate. That was going to get rid of her stomach ache. We have a Tampa police sergeant, 100 counts of child porn. He had 100 pictures of child porn. You'd think 1 or 2 might have been enough. No, this guy, I guess it's like an addictive drug. The more you take, the more you got to get. So we got a Cherokee cop. I don't know where Cherokee was at, but not Cherokee as in the tribe. Cop hits a 6-year-old with car and leaves the little girl on the side of the road. So it was a hit and run. Keensburg date raper. Oh, we had the Keensburg date raper. That was right around the corner from me. He was only on the job a couple months, and he went on a double date with another guy and a girl, and they went back to his date's house, and the other couple left, and his date says, I don't feel too good. I want to go to sleep. She probably just wanted to get rid of him. She had had enough. And she passed out because he probably fed her all kinds of drinks so he could perpetrate his date rape. And so what happened there was he went in the bedroom. Turns out she's having her period, so he pulled the tampon out, took her underwear off, pulled the tampon off, left it on the floor, left the underwear on the floor, and he proceeded to sexually assault her. And then when she woke up in the morning, she's like, why is my underwear off? And she called her friend, and then they went and they looked at the ring. They had one of those ring cameras or something in the house, and then it caught him. That cop Thompson, his last name was, coming out of the bedroom with just his shirt on, and she called him up, and I guess he kind of admitted to her over the phone that he did something, and so he pleaded guilty. He didn't waste no time with that. They had evidence there, so he was done. I'm sure his DNA was probably inside of her. You know, he's so stupid. You got to do something like that. You could at least stuck the tampon back in her and put her panties back up. You might have got away with it. But no, you know, the intelligent level. 4 months on the job, I think it was. And he just threw it away for 5 minutes of pleasure. And he's going to be a registered sex offender for the rest of his life. Good going there, kid. All right, let me continue on here. Waynesboro cop asked teens for video of them having sex. Well, that was nice. Philadelphia cop charged with murder shoots 12-year-old. One of my favorite stories, San Jose cop, he gets called for, I don't know, domestic or something, some little problem. He shows up at the house. He's talking to the mother in the kitchen, and no, he's talking to the daughter in the kitchen. I guess he was overwhelmed by her presence, and he decided that he was going to take his private parts out and start pleasuring himself in front of her, and the mother came in and saw that, and yeah, that was an interesting story. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, that was the masturbator story. Arkansas cop, oh, wait a second, Aberdeen. One of my favorite stories of the year. Phil Santiago. Now, let me just remind people, Aberdeen Township, it's a nice little lily white neighborhood. I don't say people are rich. No, I'd say middle to upper middle class people. Well, Santiago's story was he started out, he got a job in the town. I think he was a janitor or something. He finally got to become a police dispatcher. And they finally, after a period of time, allowed him to become a police officer. He wasn't on the job very long. And two things he did is him and another officer stopped somebody. And that gentleman that they stopped and interrogated broke out his cell phone and started recording things. And of course, Santiago, being the bad cop he is, must have did something, took the phone from the guy and deleted the evidence. So that's tampering with evidence. It's also First Amendment retaliation. I guess that guy never sued him, but I certainly would have. I would have brought federal case up against for that. So that was crime number one, and that's a big crime, by the way, that tampering with evidence. And then the final crime he did was, I suspected that he must have been having some behavioral problems, acting a little different, and they sent him out to do drug tests, and he botched up the drug test intentionally. So he got in trouble for that. So he got arrested, got fired, and looks like he's got a year in a pokey for that one. Arkansas cops beat the crap out of a man they arrested. Anybody surprised by that? Del Cabre cop repeatedly raped a 5-year-old. That's nice. Georgia State University drug kidnapped and raped a woman. Grand Rapids cop shoots man in the back of the head. That's the one that I put that picture on my on the YouTube channel. It was one of the heading things there where he chased this guy and got on top of him, started doing the dry hump, and I guess he wanted that black man to just relax so he could do the old dry hump, you know, the hump and come. And he just shot him in the back of the head because he feared for his life because he was on top of the man. Isn't that something? Cop gives man dog crap sandwich. Kansas cop tases a 12-year-old autistic boy. And NYPD cop guilty of letting his autistic son freeze to death. So that's just some of the stories. I think I did like 150, 200 stories this past year. And I didn't even do all the stories that came out because I realized some of you out there have short attention spans. And if you watch a video and if it's not something really shocking, or if you don't see some name brand author out there holding a sign and then asking for donations, you get bored real quick. But I think some of you figured out this channel's not about that anymore. We're about exposing bad cops, not baiting the cops and then crying the blues about it and getting lawsuits and then making a living off of that. So anyway, so I picked out a couple, gotta get some awards this year, special mentions. So the Good Cop Award goes to the female cop, the one that went to stop her sergeant, who's a big tall thug, from getting violent on a citizen, pulled him away, and he turned around and grabbed her by the throat like that. So she gets the Good Cop Award of the year. So let's give her an applause for that, for you know, standing up to that thug and saying, hey, that's not right what you're doing, you need to stop. And then we have the Psychopath Cop of the Year Award. And I got to tell you, I had to give it to two different cops on this one. We had the Grand Rapids cop that shot the black man in the back of the head, executed him. And we got the Tucson cop that shot the man in the wheelchair. I want to say that the wheelchair thing is probably more egregious than the other one, because that guy in the wheelchair wasn't going anywhere with anybody. He couldn't walk. He was in a wheelchair. But apparently this officer feared for the safety of himself. He feared for the safety of the government. And he discharged that gun. Thank goodness nobody in Walmart got a straight bullet, because at that close range, that 9mm could go right through that guy. And the most disgusting story of the year, and I hope that this officer, I hope he gets date raped in the prison. I hope they rape him so bad he has to get stitches in his ass. And I said in the video, I think that they should put a picture of his frozen son up in the wall so he can look at that for the rest of his miserable life. And that falls to the Tucson, to the NYPD cop who let his son, his autistic son, freeze in the garage. He did other terrible things where the kid was, one of the stories was the kid was out, something was happening, the kid was complaining, I don't know what, a kid wasn't doing something, and he was all wet, and he put him out in the backyard, and the freezing cold, and And the other situation was the kid was eating, made the kid eat his feces, or the kid ate the feces. Oh, it's just terrible. This poor little boy, I think he was about 10 years old. It's just disgusting what that, I mean, how disgusting on the inside, how cold on the inside can a person be, a father be to their son? If you don't want your son because he's autistic or something, put the kid up for adoption. Divorce your wife and leave the kid with a wife, or whatever the deal was in him. I don't know. I'd have to pull the story up. But to do that, I mean, that poor kid froze to death. He's autistic. He has no way of really expressing himself. It was just disgusting. So here we go, people. So that's what we got through the course of the year. We had rapists, child pornography, masturbators, murderers, beating citizens, freezing their kid to death. I would invite you to go to my YouTube channel and just scroll down all the videos and look for yourself. And it is pretty damn disgusting what is going up. You know, sometimes we forget the atrocities that go on because we only see, you see the story every day, or whenever you see a story of a bad cop doing egregious things, you hear that story and you forget about it. You don't think anything more of it. You look at it and go, oh, that's disgusting. And then the next story comes along, oh, that's disgusting. And you forget about it. But when you go and you look at my videos and you see the long list of disgusting, vile things that they are perpetrating on citizens, children, women, people, just people. It's just disgusting. And what's more disgusting about it is that law enforcement will not acknowledge this. And I really kind of think that what my channel is doing, the byproduct of what I'm doing, is that I'm keeping a video record of all the crap that goes on across America of what police are doing. And law enforcement is in denial. They're so busy trying to manipulate your perception of them rather than focusing on themselves. But they are narcissists, so they don't see themselves as the problem. They see us as the problem. And then you got the bootlickers who just attack me, attack anybody that say anything negative or anything, never mind the negative. Anybody just points out the crap that they don't. They call you a cop hater, call a crackhead next time you need the police. They just call you names. They turn a blind eye. They go by the old thing, well, you had it coming to him. If he'd only had cooperated, if he'd only did what the police told him to do, if he just stopped and didn't do anything, if he just this, if he just that. That's the rationale. That's the rationale for a cop killing you, beating the crap out of you. So, well, what happened? You caused that problem. That's what they do. Because they are so immobilized, so blinded by their fear, these people that bootlick these cops. You got two different kinds of bootlickers, but the main one is the fearful ones, which is primarily women, older women, and lily white men, older men. And then you got the one like this guy I just did in the other video there, who, I look at his pictures, it's just like, take that bullshit somewhere else. That's the old big guy mentality. I'm going to intimidate you and make you stop talking about it. Which he's probably, he's probably one of the ones that says, well, if you just cooperated, if you just did the police say, if you just obey the law. That's the other one I get when I say something. They go, well, if you just obeyed the law, as if you got some kind of evidence that I wasn't obeying the law. It's funny when they say that, because I don't have any arrest records and I have 0 points on my license. I don't think I've gotten a traffic ticket in quite some time. And the traffic ticket I got was, I think the last ticket I got was from Homedale. That was several years ago, and that was for having a tail light out or something, I think it was. And then I had another one in Red Bank, and that was several many years ago, and that was for rolling through a stop sign. And I probably could have got out of it, but the guy got me at the end of the night, and I was pretty tired, and I sort of ramped things up on that. But anyway, this is what we're up against, people out there. We got we've got law enforcement that's in denial and will not accept they have a problem. They will not acknowledge it. And you got the enablers out there, the bootlickers, the blue dick gobblers, the back to blue, hurrah, people out there. That's what we're up against. So anyway, I encourage you to go, just scroll down all my videos. What you do is you go to YouTube, you click on the video thing, and then the whole thing will come up. You just don't have to see what my latest videos are, but just scroll down and just take a look at it for yourself. Those are the facts. Those are not stories I made up, people. Those are real stories. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments section, and like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Gunnison Undercover. I post all the upcoming stories I'm going to do on there. Every day I post stories about cops being arrested, cops doing something stupid across America. And finally, I'd like to thank everybody for watching my videos, commenting on them, and being loyal to the channel. I appreciate it very much. And don't drink and drive tonight, because this is a big money maker for cops tonight. They're going to be out there in their roving patrols looking to make a few bucks and get an attaboy and get one of those awards from Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. That's what they're all out for. So anyway, Happy New Year to everybody. See you later. See you next year.